shadows where the secrets dwell. Maria whispers with a cosmic spell, channeling messages from the stars above. Orsic's legacy, a mystery of love. Frill energy flows, transcending time, a bridge to the heavens, a force so sublime. Maria, oh Maria, spirit divine, dancing in the cosmos, a light that will shine. From the Vril Society to infinity's door, unlocking our potential, forever will soar. Lost in the echoes of a war-torn night, she vanished like a comet out of our sight. A visionary queen, ruling the unknown in the metaphysical realms. She stands alone, communicating wisdom, an extraterrestrial song. Her essence remains bold and strong. Maria, oh Maria, spirit divine, dancing in the cosmos, a light that will shine. From the Vril Society to infinity's door, unlocking our potential, forever will soar. Embrace the connection, let the mystery unfold. Maria Orsic's truth, a story retold.
Welcome, friends, eternal friends of the Great Mother Maria Orsic. Remember, recover, return, my brothers and sisters. And this is a beautiful Vril book cover made by the one and only Magic Min Amor. Thank you, Mindy, for everything. And she is the daughter, the Asian daughter of the great Maria. And people like, really? You're a little think that? And see, you don't really know who's watching. And you're being tested if you're our people. And our people is anyone of any race, not religion. You cannot come here with your human sacrifice nonsense. Our God, Lucifer, Quetzalcoatl, warned us against you and will never embrace your culture of death, ever. Matter of fact, we are here to astrally, spiritually, completely destroy the Catholic Church. We don't really talk about evangelicals because they're clowns. They're just dancing clowns. Hear me, Candace Owens. We're coming to destroy the belief that God killed his son. Christ is no king. He's a fictional character from a fucking book. Wake the fuck up. And we're going to touch the essence of magic with a reading. We'll begin tonight. Today is March 2nd. It's 3/2/2026. And tonight's rune is the Hagal rune, the six-pointed star, the Hagal, the absolute gal, Donna, Maria, the absolute woman, the six-pointed star, right? An X with a Isis running through it. And it represents the down triangle, represents you falling from grace into the matrix, not into sin, If you were bad before you came here, you're still going to be bad, and we're going to always hate you. If you were good before you came here, we'll always love you, and you will, like a magnet, attract what's good in a world of what's bad. It's not your fault that it takes a minute. It's not your fault that you were born into it. We've talked many times, and we want each person to contemplate, meditate, and concentrate on what it means to be born into something, not to be taught it, to be born into it. Like, we're talking to Gen Z, we're talking to young millennials, right? It doesn't matter if you were brainwashed in a church, in the Catholic Church, in a charismatic, spirit-filled church. Yeah, there's an air in there. It's spirit-filled, but not with the right spirit. The consequences you have to think about and face reality that this was deliberately done by a set of people, and their intent was to nonchalantly put on you that there's a universal, all powerful God, and that this is in the subtext background. He created evil. Where did evil come from? Yahweh, the Bible says. I create evil. It didn't exist, he says. Right? You were born into that. You were born into it's a fight of good against evil, and we're the good because Jesus or whatever or whoever or freedom or the flag or the family or whatever. It doesn't have to directly be Christianity to be Crowleyanity. What was esoterically put on you was Thelemite philosophy of we will fucking do what we want, and you will take the crumbs or we'll fucking kill you. You'll be happy with the crumbs or we'll fucking kill you. And don't forget that they supposedly won World War II by killing so many civilians that it's what you're watching with Iran today is March 2nd is exactly what happened. The real truth is, if you were paying attention, we lied directly to their face and said, all we want for you is to not have a nuclear weapon. Then we changed it and changed it and changed it. And they said, and anyway, who are these clowns of evil to tell anybody who has a weapon and who doesn't? But in the context, we watch them lie to their face, lure them in by saying, we don't want war, we don't want war. And for the second time, attack them in the middle of negotiations with a precision bomb hitting on purpose. And believe me, tonight we are going to curse the head of the United States military. Of course, a biblical character, Cain, the murderer, of course. You can't fucking write this. They wrote it already, so it's a script. His name is Cain because he is cocaine, poison. He is pro-Cain. And he is the agent of the Christian Crowley religion of human sacrifice. Why do you say that? We don't sacrifice. I know you don't sacrifice people anymore because you believe that God did his last human sacrifice, which now pleases him forever. You believe that God was satisfied, his wrath was cured. His wrath was soothed by watching someone be tortured and murdered in the worst way of all people, his own son. And you want me to take this myth literally, which would literally be the worst news that any human being has ever heard in his whole life. And you're like, it's the good news. Jesus is coming back. Jesus is coming back. Jesus is coming back. As they descend into fucking insanity, like, Jesus is coming back. As they murder children. And we like this for the over 100 girls killed in an elementary school for girls in Iran by a U.S. bomb made and paid for by our country, paid for by us. We're all responsible. And I'm going to take my responsibility. And this is for them. We light this fire for them. And I accept my responsibility, and how I react to that is all the energy I want now focused back on the General Kane, who was a fighter pilot who fought against children in Serbia, fought against children in Iraq. We have a child murderer leading our military into murdering children because, let me tell you, you were born into it, but that's Christian, to kill everyone that doesn't believe. That's what Jesus is coming to do. Should we read it? I got my Bible. I got my Bible right here, guys. Hey, guys, I got my fucking Bible. Look at all my fucking notes. Goyim. The Goyim was trying to be a Jew. Check this out. I got about 50 verses under sacrifices and offerings. Because that's what this motherfucker needs, right? Now, what is it? Where is it where Jesus comes back and kills everyone? I'll find it. It's not too hard. And believe it, these people are the kings of calling someone else evil. The kings of calling someone else murderers. Okay? I almost want to skip the murder and tell you, do you know you're going to marry Jesus if you're a believer? You can't have an eternal true love. He is literally your true love. Because listen, Revelation 19, 7, verse 7. Revelation 19, verse 7. Let us rejoice and be glad and give the glory to him. Amen. For the marriage of the Lamb has come, and his bride has made herself ready. It was given to her to clothe herself in fine, expensive linen, bright and clean. Of course, for the fine linen was the righteous acts of the saints when they killed the unbelievers. Okay? You're going to fucking okay, here we go. We just can't get away from it. Even right here in verse 19. As a matter of fact, I did have the right chapter. Welcome the cat. And I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse. And he who sat on it was called Faithful and True. Yeah, to killing you. And in righteousness he judges and what? Wages war. His eyes are a flame of fire, and on his head are many crowns. Of course, that's what he's about. Christ is king. Right, Candace Owens? His eyes are a flame of fire, and on his head are many crowns. And he has a name written on him which no one knows except himself, Satan. Yeah, that's the whole revelation of the process church in Thelema, that God is Satan, the universal, all-powerful God. Don't exist. But if you say it does, if you believe it does, it will exist as long as you believe it. Here's your universal God, right? Many crowns on it. There's a name written on him. Only he knows that name, Satan. He is clothed, sorry. He is clothed with a robe. What class? Dipped in human blood. And his name is called the Word of God. God. His name is called the Word of God. Oh my God. And the armies which are in heaven, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. Oh yeah, the slaves washed them and ironed them. Were following him on white horses. The armies and the armies which are in heaven were following him on white horses. Armies in heaven. From his mouth comes a sharp sword, so that with it he may strike down nations. Don't forget, nations are women and children. And he will rule them with an iron fucking rod, and he treads the winepress of the fierce wrath of God. Do you get that? Red wine, blood. He walks in blood on people, which is the wrath of God. And on his robe and on his thigh, he has a name written, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Listen, here's what he's all about. Then I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried out with a loud voice, saying to all the birds which fly in mid-heaven, come, assemble for the great supper of God, so that you may eat the flesh of kings and eat the flesh of soldiers. This is what they're all about. And the flesh of mighty men and the flesh of horses even, and of those who sit on them, and the flesh of all men. Let me repeat that. And the flesh of all men, both freemen and slaves, and small and great. They're going to kill everybody. And I saw the beast, Aleister Crowley, and the kings of the earth and their armies assemble. Oh yeah, this is the fake part. The kings of the earth, and this is where it gets look at reality. They're so powerful, technological control. They have no enemies. They have to create their own enemies. Iran is one of their last real enemies. And listen to this. This is how they hate their own people, too. That if you'll bow down and follow them and give up your ancestors' religion, they hate you. It says, and the beast was seized. You know, the people that lick their boots, they seized them themselves. And with him the false prophet who performed signs and wonders in his presence, really, by which he deceived those who had received the mark of the beast and those who worshipped his image. These two were thrown alive in the lake of fire. which burns with brimstone, and the rest of the world were killed with the sword which came from the mouth of him who sat on the horse, right? King of Kings, Lord of Lords, Jesus Christ. He killed them. And all the birds were filled with their flesh. Revelation 19, right there for you. Right? In an anti-Bible study. You want culture of death? They're going to give it to you. They're going to give it to you by first taking your money and killing and fighting anyone that would dare stand up to them and not be their slaves. I think what bothers us so much about America is we're the worst slaves of all and the least aware of it and the most proud of it. We're actually proud. We could have over here in America, we could have great lives. We could have 3 months vacation, visit other countries, do all kinds of cool things. Instead, all of our tax money, just imagine this, when Trump, the clown face, taxes us, he says it's beautiful, right? It's big, beautiful. And this coming one is for $1.5 trillion for weapons to privately owned companies that make profits off the weapons they sell to their own country. That's how patriotic they are. And that's how stupid every single American citizen is. That the American government could own their own production of weapons. Of course, every other country does. Instead, we bring in a middleman. Does that sound familiar? A banker. And we privatize weapons. And me and you, the taxpayer, buy them at inflated, unbelievable margins of profit for private company. Every American is that stupid. We have the most powerful country, government. In a second, we can say we must make our own weapons so that no one makes profits off the taxpayer. And right in your face, they say no. We will actually fund these companies and still pay inflated, ungodly cost for the profit, like the biblical prophet. The biblical prophet manifests today as Raytheon, as Boeing, as little Christians making bombs to light people on fire. It's not it's the next step of evolution. You don't tie the heretic to a pole and burn them to death. You drop fire bombs on them and burn them all to death. It's the napalm culture, the culture of napalm. And we'll get to our rune reading, right? Let us switch and go to the ancient religion that our ancestors died for. They died for this. And remember, recover, return, my brothers and sisters. Right? Okay. The lungs. Let me introduce. Okay, from Ultimate Avatar, Miguel Serrano's Ultimate Avatar, page 307, the polar physiology. Okay, the polar physiology. Tonight's rune is the Hagal 6-pointed star rune. Okay, there is a swastika of fire, a swastika of water, and a swastika of earth and water. Okay. The lungs, throat, and breath give form to the runic sounds. They go forth from the mouth in 5 ways. First, vibrating in the soul. They create centers of force, the astral corpor, the astral body. Projected by the will, they will go through the ether. Projected by the will, they go through the ether. Having found acceptance in the physical brain, they gain sonorous materiality through expression. Okay? He just gave you this sort of grammar, logic, rhetoric, right? They first must be projected by the will. Then they will find acceptance in the physical brain, and they will gain materiality through your expression. The mouth is the organ expressing what the spirit has touched. Get that? The mouth is the organ expressing what the spirit has touched, what the true self has touched, as fire. All right? The mouth is the organ expressing what the spirit has touched as fire. Orphic Kabbalah is a sonorous Kabbalah with mantras and signs. It is the Kabbalah of my initiation, that of my master. Yes, Miguel Serrano had a master on earth, a great master. Rune forces, I should say, a great Brahmin master who traced his people and ancestor back to, yes, India, Aryan India. Interesting, right? That's where Lou's from. Rune forces produces vibrations in the astral body, coming to mediate between the planes of the spirit, soul, and body. The chakras, vortices of luminous energy, right? The chakras, which are vortices of luminous energy, are projecting centers of these forces. The magic runes of the magic of the runes activates the vibrations of these centers. Their wheels are made to whirl like swastikas with a dizzying vertigo. Each wheel or chakra corresponds with certain runes. Similarly, an organ of the nerves in the physical body corresponds with each astral chakra, a plexus, a gland with internal secretions directed by the astral vortices. Consciousness among these centers of light connecting them together, is made possible when the runes activate the astral vibrations of the chakras. This can be done because these wheels are also virtual centers of a different consciousness. In the first part of this work, I referred to the relation to initiation and my own experiences. These processes are completed in the physical body through two nervous systems, the vagus nerve and the sympathetic nerve, which are together in the production of hormones through glands. Always the tone of each rune is what produces the state of the form and the substance of the form. This is magic. Something to be seen directly through work on the physical body of the two systems until the metabolism is modified, influence from that other world. You hear this? This is real, no matter what world you're in. The vagus nerve is the 10th nerve of the brain, acting in opposition to the sympathetic, steadying, balancing the activity of the heart. The sympathetic is the autonomous, not dependent on will. You hear? The sympathetic is automatic, does not depend on your will, regulating the vegetative processes, the automatic. That is where the God runes work from their castles, hanging like fruits from the tree of Man's soul. Man soul. The sympathetic nerve includes the nervous system, which goes through both sides of the vertebral column and whose ganglia have ramifications to the solar plexus. The astral counterparts to these nerve bundles are the subtle canals and rivers of energy in the vertebral column of the astral body. There are the nadis. Okay. That is where the God runes work from their castles hanging like fruits from the tree, your man soul. The sympathetic nerve includes the nervous system, which goes through both sides of the vertebral column and whose ganglia have ramifications reaching to the solar plexus. The astral counterparts to these nerve bundles are the subtle canals, rivers of energy in the vertebral column of the astral body. Okay? They match. They're the river. This is the river that she's the river goddess of. The astral Miss Rhea River. They are the Ida, Pingala, Sus Humana, and the most important are and Sus Humana, the most important of the three. So you have the Ida, Pingala, and Sus Humana. The Sus Humana, the most important. In the symbolic sacred geography of India, they are the rivers Ganges, Jumna, and Sasaswati, Saraswati. The latter, Saraswati, the latter, invisible, a river beneath the head of Shiva, married to the goddess Parvati on the peak of Mount Kailas, visible counterpart of the spiritual Meru. What a name. They came together in the Sangam, the point of confluence, the three rivers, the one invisible. This is Missouri. This is the Mississippi and the Missouri River in the Western Hemisphere, in the city of Allahabad, near Benares. Okay? The confluence of the three rivers happens in the invisible counterpart of the solar plexus within the astral body of man, in the Manipura chakra. Okay? In Nordic Hyperborean symbolism, the three nerves or the three rivers are inside of you. These three rivers, which are three nerve bundles, are the three Norns, the three mothers of destiny. There is a rune for each mother. The Norns weave the different bodies of the rune hero, the warriors of Odin, Wotan, who must resurrect in Valhalla, the tunic of Nessus, ardent fire, the red Vajra, for the woman initiate, virgin of the black sun, priestess of Odin, there is a bridal veil. Some students of Raja Yoga wanted to see the Kundalini, the warrior serpent coiled around the roots of the world tree, around the vagus nerve inside of you. Through lack of knowledge of the Nordic polar symbolism, they fall into error because the vagus nerve is the concretion form of organic matter of another Hyperborean organ, which the Siddhas, the holy men, kept repeating on the various planes and worlds of energy vibration, or demiurgic outbreathing, as they jump through their entrance into the war. It may be the eye of the dragon. Listen up. Between 1914 and 1918, during the First World War, in the great crisis of the Kali Yuga, the age of the wolf, there was an overturning of the sympathetic system of Aryan peoples. This made possible the coming of the avatar Hitler, a premonition of the future Kalki. Some students of this era, Professor von Singer among one of them, believed there is in Nordic man an additional nerve bundle enabling them to re-identify with the world of divinity. I would say to escape and go beyond the archetypal world of the one, the demiurge Jehovah. To go beyond this is divinity. This branch or organ is not found in other races and allows the Aryan to see reality in a divine projection and perspective. Hitler had total use of this capacity, which is only latent in the rest of us, right? This is a gift when it activates. This marks a fundamental difference between the races, helping us to understand the meaning of the intention to hybridize the white peoples carried out today with growing intensity from 1985 on. This diabolical plan is to produce anew the monster of the Neanderthal man. This is the meaning. This reality is the meaning of the Hagal rune, the six-pointed Nordic star, which says to you, guard the center of the world within yourself, and you will be Lord of the universe. Right? When you understand what's going on, the First World War was about destroying our ancestors' religion, spirituality, and genetic structure, even. So, this rune predicted long ago that what we would have to do is guard the center of the world within yourself, guard your individuality, and you will be Lord of whatever universe you're in. Because why, class? You will be complete. You will be happy. You will be fulfilled. Okay, now listen. There are 4 homelands that reach the domains of the Yggdrasil tree. You know, this astral archetypal tree. There are 4 homelands that reach the domains of the Yggdrasil tree. Wotan organizes and connects them. He lives in them. First homeland is Asgard, home of the Aesir. Second homeland is Valhalla, reunion hall of the heroes and Valkyries of Woden Odin. The third homeland, Waldheim, sacred forest of the goddess and wife of Wotan, Frigg. Waldheim, sacred forest of the goddess Frigg, where under those trees grows the Amanita muscaria mushroom. Fourth homeland, Trudawang, mansion of the god Danar, Thor. Mansion of the god Danar, Thor. The worlds of the home oak Yggdrasil are 5. First, Asgard, kingdom of the gods. Second, Thurzenheim, home of the giants. Third, Nibelheim, realm of the dead. Fourth, Muspelheim, domain of fire. Fifth, Midgard, Reich of the Nordic peoples, their imperium. Who does Wotan lead? He leads the poets and heroes. I feel this as I write. He has guided my steps from a young age. Since in the Andes of my country, when I saw the giants, his throne of gold in Valhalla, his Hildescaff, his head carries the helmet that projects golden rays with 2 wings of an eagle. His blue cloak cloak is the Hyperborean firmament, color of the god Krishna. His left hand holds the lance, his right the sword. As chief in battle, he wins the victory. He is the god of the runes, of divination of the future. He is the god of the runes, of divination of the future, who asks the runes and receives the answer from Wotan. Right? Any of us who asks the runes will receive the answer from Wotan when you come into this space, the space of the runes. His horse has 8 legs, and his name Sleipnir. Above his head, 2 ravens fly. At his feet, 2 wolves. Like Apollo, Wotan is God Wolf. The SS initiates, the heroes of Wotan, are today also wolves. Siegfried was Wolfling, a wolf cub, and descended from Wotan, like the Frankish kings, like Hengist and Horsa, who conquered England, and like Frederick Barbarossa, served by 2 ravens, Hugin and Munin, while he sleeps in Kiefelhausberg. Hitler is an avatar of Wotan, an Arctic wolf. Right? And we're also going to read a passage here before we switch from this book. One of Miguel Serrano's later books, Maya, Reality is an Illusion. Right? Okay, let us start here. Miguel Serrano, A Night in Austria. It is night. The city is in darkness. We walked until a pallid light appeared. It was a poorly lit kiosk with a large door emblazoned with a Coca-Cola sign. I feel that I have lost my way. This cannot be our destination. Inside the kiosk is a man in shirt sleeves, folding newspapers on a table. Mund, my friend, introduces me. He is the secret weapons engineer, and this is the only work he can engage in without divulging his identity. He received me in a cordial manner, as though he had already been informed of my coming. To my question as to what he believed about Martin Bormann, he responded in a most unexpected and strange way with another question. Who was Adolf Hitler? Rather surprised, I answered, of course, I know him. How would I not? No, he told me, you cannot, because no one knew him. Nobody knew him for certain. Did you know that in the bunker under the Chancellery building in Berlin, they found 14 corpses of Hitler, each exactly the same? Which one was the true Hitler? The one who left for Antarctica? He told me. He went on the same with Martin Bormann and Rudolf Hess. Who was the real Bormann? The one in Chile or the one in Moscow? Never in all my years of struggle and combat neither during or after the Great War had I found myself in such a situation as this. Here, in a ghostly night, in a city of dreams, with those two strange characters, one the commanding officer of the Templars, and the other builder of the secret weapons of the Third Reich. Both were old fighters, serious and reliable. Did you know? The engineer kept on speaking. The scientists of the Third Reich were over 100 years ahead in technical, mechanical, and even biological discoveries. Did you know they achieved not only cloning and robotics, but even duplication? Yes, even duplication, and perfect duplication. So who was Hitler? And Martin Bormann, was he the spy or the other one? Ah, Germany, the Germans, the Germanic race, the Aryans. They are capable of everything. The transfiguration of the world and human beings when they join together, and above all, when a commander appears to guide them like Wotan in olden times, then they reconvert into gods, into demigods, those who were in prehistory, in Hyperborea, right? And one more. Maya. Maya. We have lived and live in an illusionary world where no one knows who is who, and whether in speaking with a specific person, we speak with the real one or with someone who does not exist. Nowadays, duplication is plagiarized by a scientific elite in the service of the satanic minority that control the world, for which they have their archetype and their golems. Everything is illusory. Everything is illusory. Is Maya, as the Hindus define reality. Nevertheless, the Avatar did not lose the war. He won by losing. And he said as much. If I materially lose this war, the demons will destroy the whole world. And the earth is at the door of her end. And hail, Miguel Serrano, respect to Addie, and
In the shadows where the secrets dwell, Maria whispers with a cosmic spell, channeling messages from the stars above. Orsic's legacy, a mystery of love. Real energy flows, transcending time, a bridge to the heavens, a force so sublime. Maria, oh Maria, Spirit divine, dancing in the cosmos, a light that will shine. From the Brill Society to infinity's door, unlocking our potential, forever will soar. in the echoes of a war-torn night. She vanished like a comet out of our sight. A visionary queen, ruling the unknown in the metaphysical realms. She stands alone, communicating wisdom, an extraterrestrial song. Her essence remains bold and strong. Maria, oh Maria, spirit divine, dancing in the cosmos, a light that will shine. From the Vril Society to infinity's door, unlocking our potential, forever will soar. Embrace the connection, let the mystery unfold. Maria Orsic truth, a story retold.